up, guys? Time to show off another build, and once again, it will be labeled correctly, but I do not remember what version of the pilot dial this is for me, with the arrow at the top. I don't remember what it was. I haven't done one of these in a very, 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 very long time. But I remembered, hey, I've got boxes for this. I got some dials for this. I need to do a pilot dial. So might as well break one of these out. So this is a ghosted lasered. Now it's not as ghosted as another one that I have. These ones you can actually kind of see the numbers on them nicely. But in some areas you don't quite see them as much. But this is lasered out. The long indices here are lasered completely through, and then your circles at your hours are lasered completely through, with just a little bit of backside limb to them. So for reference on that. Did a set of black Moldova hands in there. This is in a brushed 350 case, brushed crown, star engraved milled caseback, and it has some cool like design on it. I have no idea how he did that, if it was on purpose or an accident, but when I saw it, I was like, that's freaking wild. I bet you what it is he was doing it, and something messed up, and then he put it back on and did it again. Then he's like, all right, well, that kind of messed up, so let's just keep doing it. So, because there's just different textures back here. It looks very cool. Anyway, this is a one of my black cerakoted bezels with my compass insert. This is something that I had made for me. I had 100 of them made. And then when they made them for me, I told them instead of just setting all of the inserts, send them separately so that I can ceracode, if I want to, any of the bezels. Okay, Google, volume down. So this one is in black cerakote with your compass insert in there. This is a specific size and everything, so I can't use this on any of my others. But I kind of wanted it to be that way. I wanted it to be like, that's a specific thing that I do. Specific bezel. So, black Moldova handset, non-loom seconds hand, black wristband strap with a silver preview buckle, star engraved clasp, and that's the build. Just a nice little pilot build, black and silver. Bezel will turn left, it'll turn right. It is a tension ring bezel. It is on there tight. So when you want to move it, whenever you figure out where north is, when you're using the sun and figuring out where that is, then you can utilize your compass bezel if you need to. Automatic mechanical, you've got a rotor in the back, so as you're moving, that rotor is spinning. So it is putting wind to it. But if you're not going to be very active, or right before you put it on, you want to wind it just a little bit, because if you just set the time, put it on, if you're not moving around very much, it will stop. And it will stop again, and it will stop again. So back the crown off the threads until you hear it and feel it clicking. At that point, you can wind. And a wind is clockwise as you're looking at it. Counterclockwise doesn't do anything, but it is like a ratchet. You can keep going back and forth, putting wind to that mainspring. You cannot overwind it, so don't worry about that. 4 or 5 seconds of this mixed with the rotor movement of you wearing it will keep your time throughout the day. But if you know you're going to be driving, sitting at a desk, etc., 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 you want to make sure that you don't lose any time throughout the day, you can max wind it out. Do that for another 4 or 5 seconds, probably about as long as I did, and you'll have a 31-hour plus power reserve on it. It's usually around 35, 36 when I wind them up and set them down. You cannot overwind it. It has a slipping mainspring. You cannot overwind it. I've had somebody say, what about overwinding? I don't know if you didn't listen when I did the video, but you cannot overwind it as a slipping mainspring, so don't worry about that. Once you're happy with your winding, you're going to pull it to the 1 and only click, and you can now set your time. It does not have a hacking movement, so it will keep ticking. You'll also notice you've got a wobble crown. This deflects lateral pressure from going into the stem and into the movement. So when you're pushing and prying on it, you are not putting any adverse pressure on the movement, or the keyless works. Okay, Google, what time is it? 2:30. 2:38 p.m. Push it over, get it out of that time setting. Wind it down. That is the build. As with every build, you're going to get matching beads. You're also going to get a dial matching lasered box with plaid pillow. Watch cleaner to keep that watch perfectly clean, non-streaking, non-toxic, non-residue, good for glass and metal only, with microfiber. Leather conditioner to keep this strap perfectly soft. Apply it on the front and back, let it soak in. Remove any excess with a rag, etc. Sorry, sidetrack. People are calling me right now when I'm not supposed to be bothered. So anyway, leather conditioner will keep this perfectly soft. Use a rag. Don't use one of your microfibers. And yeah, that will get your pliability right back if you ever need it. But if you do, I would apply it on the backside where it's touching you and just kind of work it in. This is a very nice waxy leather, so chances are you'll never need it. But if you do, you've got it. As well as fine scratch remover. This is Novus 2 from Amazon, just repackaged. It's like Polywatch. It's for your acrylic glass because you can't scratch it. But if you do, no big deal. Put a tiny bit of this on it and buff it out using your included microfiber that's color matching. If the scratch is up and down, just go left and right, filling that scratch. Haze it, buff it out, make sure it's gone. If it's not, revisit it in a little bit. You are building back up the layers on it. So I just kind of rub on it till I'm producing a little bit of heat. And usually that alone will do it. Don't use a lot. A little bit will go a long way. So if you use a lot, you're just going to start pushing it out around the bezel. You don't want to do that. So that's it. That's the build. If it's going to you, congrats. You've got an awesome pilot build. I don't remember the version. I will get it. It will say it. I just wish I remembered what it is. Also, I need to look at my camera sometimes because I'm just talking. But anyway, if it's going to you, congrats. Thank you so much for your support. And if you want me to build you something custom and unique, reach out and I'll see what I can do. And if you want to continue to see videos like this, like and subscribe as I put them up all the time. Thanks, guys.